If you want your artwork to be vector, but you use Photoshop to design, then you most likely ran into a massive problem. Photoshop is raster based, which means it's resolution dependent. Unlike vectors, which are resolution independent and use math rather than pixels, take my Hail Mary design as an example. When I zoom in, you'll notice the opacity shifts from 100% to even under 80%. This shift in opacity makes printing a complete nightmare since print methods such as DTG, DTF, and screen printing rely on 100% opacity, and that's why you clicked on the video. You want to turn rasters into vectors, and for that I have two easy methods for you. Let's get into number one. So I have my Project Hail Mary design here, and I'm just going to zoom in all the way so you can see how soft these pixels really are. So this is not going to work for printing. If you go to print this, it's going to look super bad. It's just not going to print right. Even if you use DTF or DTG, you'll get away with it, but it's not going to look that great. Let's zoom out. How do we fix this? The way we fix this is by using thresholds. Thresholds can turn those soft pixels into hard pixels, 100% opacity, sharp, whatever you want to call them. And you can see that it's 100% opacity. Now, you'll notice that they're not actually smooth, and that's because we're working with the little blocks, squares, like a Minecraft character, right? So they're never going to be smooth. And the only thing we can really do to like give it the illusion that it's smoother is by adding something called grain. And in the adjustments, Photoshop just added an actual grain adjustment now, which is amazing. So glad they did that. Now, if I zoom in, you'll see that there's still these sharp edges, and it's never going to be smooth because, again, we're working with pixels. We're not working with vectors, which is more mathematical. We still have a problem because now we only have one color to work with, despite our design having multiple colors, and that's not going to work out. So I have auto thresh here, and I'm going to click apply, or the play button, and it's going to automatically pick like a color palette for me. And I actually have a preset already. So actually, let me go to my select preset menu there, and we're gonna go ATP logo V1. It's just what I called it. You can call it whatever you want when you make your presets. And there you go. Now the pattern is way too large for this resolution. Again, resolution is everything when you're working with pixel-based documents. So I'm going to actually link all patterns, which all patterns are linked already. There's a little check mark on the top right. And I'm going to just lower the pattern size to kind of fit our resolution that we're working with, because I'm actually working with a smaller document on purpose. It's just because when I do these vector conversions, it's really intense on your computer. So if you don't have a good computer, it's going to be really tough. But anyway, this is what it looks like right now. Pay attention to the layers now. You'll see that the shadows, midtones, highlights, and highlight one, which is actually specular, are all separated for you automatically. And it goes a step further. If you click knockout, you're going to see that it's going to actually knock out the ink from each other. So you're not stacking ink when you go to print. If you stack ink when you print, it's going to create a very heavy print. And that's the kind of, prints that you can feel on your chest when you're wearing the shirt or whatever you're wearing. So that's something you really don't want. But if I click knockout, you could see that it actually knocked out all those colors for me, and they stack beautifully as expected. Now, when I go to zoom in, you're going to see that every pixel is 100% opacity. So there's no opacity shifts, no gradations, and it's all kind of faked, right, with thresholds and grain. So the reason why this is so powerful is I can actually export this for DTG, DTF, and even screen printing right now and print this, and it's not going to have an issue at all. And that's kind of the beauty of my plugin. But the thing is, it's not vector, and some screen printers want vectors. And you might want vectors for other reasons. Maybe you want to print something on a billboard, right? Then you want vectors. So how do we convert this to a vector? It's actually really simple. So what we want to do first is we want to turn off all of the layers we're not working with, so we don't need any of these. Or actually, we do need them, but I meant we only want to do one at a time. Before we continue, you want to make sure that you have your paths menu open, at least visible somewhere. I already have mine right here, and I'll drag it right here next to info. And if you don't see that, just go up to window and make sure you have paths checked, and you're good to go. Now all we have to do is make a selection of the mask that's on each layer. So we're going to start off with highlights 1. So I'm going to hold in Command or Alt if you're on a PC. And once you do that, you're just going to hover over any part of the actual color here, and you're going to right click and click Make Work Path. You can also make the paths within the path menu. I don't like to do it that way. And then I choose a tolerance of 0.5, and this will get you the best results. And just press OK. And once you have this, don't click anything else. You want to actually make a new solid layer. So go down to adjustments and click solid color. And when you click solid color, it's going to load your actual color picker, and you want to make sure you select the same color that that matches that actual layer separation that you have. So in this case, we're working with the highlight, which is white. Now at this point, you want to go ahead and name this whatever it is. So I'm going to type in highlight 1 sep. just so I know that that's what it is. Let's turn it off now. We don't need it. Before I do highlight 2, I'm going to copy the color code just so I have it, and you're going to see why. Now we can go ahead and make the selection and do the same thing, make work path. So right click, make work path, same exact tolerance level, and it's going to process and take a second. Now I can go down to adjustments, solid color, and I'm going to rinse and repeat for all of the different layers that we have. Once you see that color picker, you can paste that code and press OK, and it's going to change that highlight 1 or highlight 2 into that same color. I only did 2 layers for now because it's hard on my computer while I'm screen recording, but you have to do the same thing for the rest of the layers that you want to turn into a vector. Once you're done with that, you head up to File, Save a Copy, and you want to save this as a Photoshop EPS. Once you're done with that, you click Save, and I can just name this test file. Now we're on to the most important part. You want to make sure Include Vector Data is checked for the EPS Options panel. If that is not checked, this will not work, and you can use any encoding profile that you want. I like binary because it's a little lighter, but whatever you want to use is fine. You can also include halftone screens if you're working with those. We're not, so I just leave that unchecked and press OK. I've already saved it, so I'm good to go. Another note here, you want to make sure your document is set to 300 resolution. I set mine, I believe, to 72 because I'm working with screen recording, obviously, while I'm demoing this. And actually, my document is way too big, to be honest with you. I should have made it much smaller when demoing this. But just know that if you have, let's say, a 15-inch by 18-inch document for merch design, make sure your resolution is 300 before doing this. That's it. You should have that anyway, because when you're designing for a print, you should always use 300 resolution. And that's it. Now we're ready to hop over to Illustrator to check out our vector. All you have to do is open the EPS in Illustrator directly, and you're going to get this. You're going to see the layers and everything exactly how they are in Photoshop, which is great. So you could see on this one that I just opened up, all of the layers are here and they're in clip groups. You can actually unclip those if you want to, but you don't need to. And you can see that the 72 resolution document looks terrible. I mean, look at this. Now let's compare it to the 300 resolution document. Check that out. And if you zoom in, you get that same detail that you're used to in Photoshop, but now it's in Illustrator and it's vector. So if I turn these layers off, check this out. We have the highlights. And if I zoom in, watch this. Notice how they're smooth now. No gradation, nothing, no pixel loss, anything like that. The opacity stays 100%. It's so sharp. And that's because vector uses what? Math. That's what happens when you have a resolution independent software versus a resolution dependent software like Photoshop's raster based, system. So now we're able to zoom in as much as we want. This is great for billboards. I mean, you can print this as big as you want now, but these are fully separated layers. So we can turn them on and send this off to the screen printer after we do it. Obviously we want to make sure we're working with certain color libraries depending on the print shop. So this is the Photoshop version and this is the Illustrator version. The only difference is one is raster and one is vector. Again, one is resolution dependent and one is resolution independent. That's the key differences here. You should be able to confidently turn your raster layers into vector now. And if this video helped you out, I hope I earned your subscription and a like and a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the video. What do you guys want to see next?